Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to try and demystify the subscription fee or stores that you can get from eBay because they're kind of confusing, and it's really simple whether in order to figure out if you actually need them or not, because really the only thing that matters as a dropshipper is the number of listings that you have. Once you get to a certain point, it's cheaper to get a basic store, and then there's another point where it's cheaper to get a premium store and for an anchor store. So all the store subscriptions do a whole bunch of different things, and it's kind of misleading because it says like, oh, it's an eBay store, and you can think of it as just a way to pay less to post listings. That's really the most important part of it. Everything else is kind of just supplementary and on the side. And you can also, it's confusing because if you look at this chart, which is the eBay page on store subscriptions, they use the word free a lot, like, oh, your amount of free listings, and honestly, it's not that complicated. They make it seem more complicated than it actually is. So let me break it down for you guys. You guys can pay a monthly fee in order to reduce the amount that each listing costs, okay? So there's 3 tiers. There's basic, premium, and anchor. A basic store pays 20 cents per listing. A premium store pays 10 cents per listing, and an anchor store pays 5 cents per listing. A basic store costs $24 or $25 a month. A premium store costs $75 a month, and an anchor store costs $350 a month. So that may seem expensive, right? You may think, oh, this is another monthly fee, but look, you were going to pay fees to post things to eBay anyway. All that these monthly fees do is make listings cheaper. So it's kind of misleading because it says like, oh, it's a monthly fee, right? And let's use the basic store as an example, $25 a month. But the thing is, when you pay $25 a month, you get 250 free listings that you don't have to pay for. So in reality, you're paying $25 for 250 listings and a cheaper fee per listing at that 250 mark. Does that make sense to you guys? There's some little other things to understand about stores, but honestly, the only thing that you really have to understand is that when you're posting items, you get to a point where it's cheaper to pay for the next level of store than it is to use the current store, okay? And so let me tell you what those numbers are. Once you hit 133 items, that's the point where it's cheaper for you to pay for a basic store than it is for you to not have a store at all. Once you hit 500 items, it becomes cheaper for you to pay for a premium store than a basic store. Once you hit 3,749 items, that's when it's cheapest to use an anchor store moving forward. And an anchor store is what I have to use for bulk, obviously, but to run an optimization business, you could run a fully optimized optimization business and only have like 60, 100, less than 1,000 listings. So you don't necessarily need an anchor store, but if you're doing bulk like I do, an anchor store is necessary because it makes the listing fee 5 cents per item instead of like 10 or 20. So it makes it way cheaper. It's still expensive, but only a fraction of what it would be. So the only other thing I want you to take away from this, like I just said, okay, you have 133 listings, get a basic store. You have at least 500 listings, get a premium store. You have at least 3,749 listings, get an anchor store. That's the most important. Second, there is a common question, and that's that you understand your eBay account limits are different. They are not affected by your store. A lot of people think, oh, if I just pay eBay $350, they're going to give me an anchor store, and then they're also going to let me post whatever I want. That's not how it works. It doesn't make sense to get an anchor store unless you're actually able to post those items. So don't get these stores until it's mathematically in your best interest. And like I said, at 133 listings, get a basic store. At 500 listings, get a premium store. And at 3,749 listings, get an anchor store. Okay? All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Ciao.